back to channel on. Today I'm going to be working on a Zoeller Sump Pump. I found this on the side of the road, complete, so I thought I'd bring it home and see if I can maybe possibly get it going. So the first thing you want to do is check the switch. That's the first thing. Obviously I plugged it in and I hit the float and nothing happened, so it's probably going to be just a switch. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this cover off. There's going to be 4 screws here, 4 threaded bolts, and before you take those off, go ahead and just kind of hit those a little bit just to free them up, because I'm sure where this has been submerged it's going to be rusty. And I'm just going to kind of chunk those just to kind of free them up, and hopefully they'll pop right off there. Alright, that one's popping off pretty good. There's quite a bit of corrosion there. The good news is I see no water in there, so that's a good thing. I'm going to just turn this switch here so I can remove that float. Hold it like that so I don't damage that. Alright, yeah, it's dry. It's dry in there. So we can go ahead and just test that switch easy enough. And it looks to me that it is switching both the hot and the neutral. So it's switching both of them. So all we need to do is take our meter. I'm going to put it on continuity. And we've talked about this in several of my other videos. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go from here to here. So we're getting the connection there. And we're going to get a connection there. So we know that the power coming through the switch is good. So we don't have to worry about that. So the power cord is good. So now we need to test the switch. And to do that, we're just going to put it on one side or the other. And it looks like I'm going to do the hot side. So that's going to be the black side. So if I put one side there, and I'm getting a connection. If I hit the switch, it shuts off, getting a connection. The same on the other side. Uh-oh. The switch is okay. Alright, so it's not the switch, it's the motor itself. So that's a whole different problem. Whether or not I want to investigate that any further, I don't know, because the motor is probably going to cost just as much as the pump itself is. So I think I'm going to kind of hold it right here for right now and may revisit this. We got an update on the Zoeller pump here, and it is basically a lost cause. If I had another one kicking around for parts, I probably would go ahead and rebuild this, but I am not going to. The reason for that is the capacitor, which I believe is blown, is 60 bucks. The electrolytic oil that I need to fill back in here is another $54. Just want to jump in here real quick. As I'm editing these videos, a lot of times once I get everything onto the computer, I realize, boy, I wish I'd have done this, I wish I'd have said this, but you know what, it's really hard, and I really appreciate the people out there that do a good job on this stuff, because I struggle with it sometimes. Real quickly on this pump, One of the things I wish I'd have done is done a little bit of research. I would have saved myself a little bit of money if I wanted to rebuild this pump just by removing this cap, turning it upside down, and reclaiming the electrolytic oil on that. Then I would have only been in for the cost of the capacitor. I just kind of wanted to just share that. So if you want to go into this before you do what I have done, go ahead and remove that cap. Reclaim the electrolytic oil, and then you could possibly reuse it. And you're only going to be into it for a gasket and the switch on top, the gasket for the switch on top. Okay, so up to over $100, and then the switch I don't need. So basically, you know, $100, I could probably have this all back up and going without much of a problem, if that's the problem. And I'm sure it is. But do I want to really want to mess with that? Not really, because a brand new one's a couple $100. So I'm going to go ahead and abandon this project. But I will hang on to the switch because the switch is good. We've already tested that. So if you got anything out of this, it's how to test the switch. So I'm just going to put this in my junk pile, and if I get another one and it has a bad switch, at least I'll have the switch. So, well, thanks an awful lot for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.